Pop, boxing music, come on, bring them to me!
Probably played well over 1,000 different records. I've got to say, they're all ones I love as well.
At BBC Radio 2, we like music more than is actually healthy for us.
Now on BBC One, before the practice, the weather with Helen Willis.
Hello and welcome to Weatherview. The theme this evening is wintry weather in the run-up to Christmas across the globe. So let's start in the USA, where we've got a little winter low that's running up the eastern seaboard. It's going to bring some snow to the Great Lakes in the next couple of days, and behind it, well, quite a northerly wind blowing in much colder air, and that colder air is going to creep ever so closely to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, it's cold but quite sunny across many central parts of Europe through Wednesday. This was the view in Austria earlier in the day, and a very pretty view in parts of Switzerland. Whilst this is a rather pleasant view, particularly for skiers, the snow across other parts of Europe has been causing problems. We've had heavy snow in Bulgaria cutting power lines, in Greece blizzards, it's been freezing cold and widespread disruption here. Now that's all tied in with quite a deep and vigorous winter storm that's currently clearing away from the eastern Mediterranean, and then things quieten down at least for a couple of days, but this next developing area of low pressure will see the sunshine across Austria and Switzerland disappearing, some snowfall coming the way here, and eventually that low will wind itself up again in the eastern Mediterranean. So you can see that as we head towards the weekend, there'll be some snow for Geneva, a little bit more rain and settled weather for Istanbul. Further north across Europe, it's set to get colder, temperatures tumbling off by Sunday in Moscow, as they will in Warsaw. And it's set to get colder in many northwestern parts of Europe, including here in the British Isles. The northerly wind starts to take a grip through Friday, and then it's with us throughout the weekend, and that cold polar air will blow in plenty of snow showers to northern and eastern areas. For the remainder of this night, however, it's going to be cold, a widespread frost, and after some earlier patchy rain and snow in places, that means it's going to freeze underfoot and on the roads and causes some quite treacherous driving conditions for the early morning rush hour. Otherwise, quite a fine start to the day on Thursday, plenty of sunshine around, any wintry showers in the east dying away, and then our next change comes into the northwest. As the day goes on, the cloud will build in, bringing with it some rain, preceded by some sleet and snow for a time, but it should turn back to rain later in the day, and it should hold off for Northern Ireland until after dark, and for the borders of Scotland, and for many parts of England and Wales a dry and fine day. But then the rain arrives in the south come Friday. Now it could start off as sleet and snow in the south, it could be a little bit icy first thing, but then it becomes milder with all that rain around, and it's behind that we start to see that real dig of cold air, northerly wind setting in. So just 2 to 9 degrees on Friday, but quite a significant wind chill in the north and the east here, feeling more like -11 up in the Northern Isles. So you can see that cold air digging into the north on Friday, and it's well and truly right across the UK by the time we get into the weekend. By Saturday, some snowfall in many northern and eastern areas, so we could see a dusting of snow before Christmas. That showers are still with us as we go into Sunday, but then the change starts to take place again in from the Atlantic, more cloud, wind and rain coming in, even some sleet and snow as this area of low pressure develops and pushes its way south and east. Bye-bye.
Tonight's Sign 1 sequence with signing and subtitles starts with Watchdog with Nicky Campbell at 1 o'clock.
Things to avoid at the Christmas party.
Lesson number 1.
Embarrassing yourself on the dance floor.
Dora's a very spirited dancer.
Lesson number 2.
Inappropriate behaviour.
What are you doing?
So what is lesson number 3?
Getting drunk.
Lesson number 4.
Going wild. You might do something you regret.
Would you mind, just putting that down to a momentary lapse of concentration?
Stay home. Watch the best films instead.
Wow, love and a bit with a dog. That's what they want.
BBC One, home for Christmas.
Chainsaws, meat cleavers, carving knives, and screaming. Groovy.
Off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard.
The Christmas Carve-Up on BBC Choice.
Everyone's entitled to one good scare.
You can receive BBC Choice without paying a subscription. Call us on 08700 100 789 or go online at bbc.co.uk/digital.
This is BBC One.